There was a civilization in the Indus Valley. I went to Mohenjo-daro and Taxila outside Rawalpindi. In Rawalpindi, Taxila, there are excavation works going on, and there's a museum close by. I visited it around the 1950s. At that time, I wasn't very much interested in what I'm talking now. It was just, casually, just to come and tell people I visited Taxila. From that point, I visited the place. And in the museum, I saw gold jewelry as modern as today's jewelry, made by my ancestors 5,000 years ago. 3,000 years before Jesus was born, they had a waterborne sewerage in Taxila. They made muslin cloth, a yard muslin cloth, you can hold it in the palm of your hand. That nation, they didn't know that dead wood floats. Is it possible? A nation was so civilized. They made gold jewelry, they made muslin cloth, but they didn't know that dead wood floats. As you know, in anthropology, study of man, we learn that mankind knew that dead wood floats long before he invented fire. The primitive man standing by the riverside, the river is in flood, and he sees trees being washed away, and somehow the trees come somewhere nearby one of them, and then he wades in and he gets onto the tree and he sees this carrying his weight, it's floating, and he's jumping, hey, it's nice, it was a nice feeling. He discovered that dead wood floats long before he discovered how to make fire. And yet Rama, poor man, he didn't know how to make a raft. He could have crossed over, he wouldn't have waited 12 years. But the devil, Ravan, this is the devil. Look, the devil did it just like that. Amazing. God, he poor for 12 years. And he says, look, you my friend, if somebody takes your wife behind the door for 2 minutes, and if you have the power to break the door down, break the wall down, what would you do? You say, break it down. If you have the power, you wait. Somebody with your wife, your mother, your sister, your daughter, you wait for 12 years to rescue her? What kind of a God are you? 12 years. What is that guy doing with his wife? Can you imagine? Because look, anybody steals somebody's wife, there's only one reason. No matter how old the guy is. Nobody steals people's wives to worship them, say, you're my Sita, you're very beautiful, you're very nice. So the guy sees how ridiculous the situation is. That's what you see, my forefathers, they saw the light and they extricated themselves. Or we have another experience. You see, the experience with Hinduism is so vast. But if you look for it, the opportunities are there. Pass it on, pass it on. When you're passing on, you're actually programming him, you're brainwashing him away from what he's holding on to. Because his mind revolts. God, he can't save his own wife. And then somebody abducts your wife and you say, oh Rama, help me, oh Rama, help me. I say, how can the poor Rama help you when he couldn't help his own wife? I had a couple from Rhodesia, old Rhodesia. They call themselves spiritualist white people. They came to the office just some time back. And I said, now how do you people come to find us? He said, no. He says, our priest, when we close for our Christmas holidays, he read from the Quran, the birth of Jesus. And at the end of it, he said that, this book speaks about Jesus and his mother in a nobler and a sublimer terms than anything to be found in the Bible. So they said, where did you get it? I said, look, when I was in Zululand, I was reading the Sunday Tribune, and in that there was an advert, and I wrote for the Quran, and I got it, which he used. So that is where we got our address from, so we come to see you. This is very good. And we found these spiritualist Christians. They call themselves spiritualists. They don't belong to any other of these Orthodox churches. They were so tolerant, they were so good, that while I'm talking to them, they're very, very happy with my explanation. But they had an attitude towards all religions, that all religions are the same, and all religions are equal. They say all the rivers go into the ocean, and all the paths lead up to the top of the mountain. That's actually the Hindu program. This is how the Hindus program people. So look, all rivers go into the ocean. You know my English, right? All the paths lead you to the top, means to God. Any path you take, you reach there. See, whether you take Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianism, communism, anything you take, you'll reach there. What are you worried about? You don't have to become a Muslim, or you don't have to become this or that. You just take any path, it'll take you there. You be a good Christian, I'll be a good Hindu. You be a good Muslim, I'll be a good Hindu. You don't interfere with me, I don't interfere with you. Sounds very, 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 charitable. So these people now are brainwashed with that type of idea. So all religions are the same, and they are all equal. And I'm telling them all religions are not the same, and they are not equal. And the more I argue, the more it creates the impression that we Muslims are very intolerant. He is tolerant, he is prepared to concede that Islam is equal to his, but I'm not prepared to concede that all are equal. And the more I argued, it was creating a bad taste in the mouth. So I said, now let's change the whole situation. So I'm telling them, I said, look, have you visited the mosque? He says, no. I said, come, I will take you to the mosque and see, how we Muslims pray. And they came, take off the shoes. I won't go into details. Took off the shoes. Why we make wudu, explain. Saw the salat. We came out, very impressed. Very impressed. I said, now, have you been into a Roman Catholic cathedral? I said, next door. Next to the Juma Masjid is the Roman Catholic cathedral. He said, yes, yes. So I said, now you know how the Muslims, how they behave in their mosque, you know what it looks like, you know what a Christian cathedral looks like. Have you seen a Hindu temple? He says, no. I said, come, I'll take you. So I took them in my car to Amgeni Road, near that old Greywood. Now, this main station, just a few hundred yards from there, is the largest temple in South Africa. The largest mosque in the southern hemisphere, Durban. The largest temple in South Africa, Durban. Durban is unique. So I took them to the temple. Now, when you tell people that it takes people to the temple. But the Chinese have a saying, one picture is worth 10,000 words. So me telling you, Hanuman, I said, look, this is Hanuman. Ganesh, I said, look, this is Ganesh. We'll come to him again. So one picture is worth 10,000 words. So I said, let me take them to the temple. They said, all same? Let me hear, get it from their mouth. So I took them to the temple. We also have to take off our shoes. We took them off, and we went into the main hall, a hall like this, about this size. And at the end of the hall, there were 3 cubicles. But before going to the things, I got the supervisor. I said, look, please, these are visitors from Indonesia, and they like to see what's going on. I said, no, you explain. I said, no. In my mind, I said, let them get it from the horse's mouth. You see? I said, no, please, you must explain to them what is going on, what you have got here. I forced the fellow. He didn't like it. So we started. From the left-hand side. There were 3 cubicles. Left-hand side. So in that room there, we see this picture, a statue. This is the picture, but we see a statue. I said, who's this? This is the Son of God. This is the Son of God. I said, what's his name? He said, his name is Ganesh. I said, oh. Outside, there was something like a bullock, black, made of stone. I said, what is this? He said, this God is looking after that God. Guardian angel. So like a guardian angel. You're laughing. These are the gods of our ancestors. Respect. I said, it's got the body of a man and the head of an elephant. Can you see that? I said, how does it come about? How can a human being have an elephant head? So the story is that you see, this is the Almighty God of the Hindus. We are coming to him. We are coming to him just now. This is Shiva. And this is his wife Parvati. This is Shiva and his wife Parvati. Now Shiva is God. But he thought of going and contemplating about God. So he's telling his wife, seeking permissions, look darling, let me go, I want to contemplate. He's God, but he wants to contemplate about God. So he goes into the bundus. This is Hindu mythology. So he goes into the bundus, in the wilderness, and for 12 years he's away, contemplating about God. And after 12 years he returns, bearded, he comes home, and he knows his house, and there outside the house there is a young boy, 12-year-old, son of God. His son he didn't know. See, when he went, he didn't know his wife was pregnant. You see. So by the time he returns, there's a young boy, 12-year-old, is waiting there. Say, old man, where are you going? Old man, after 12 years, man, his wife is there. Said, get out of the way, you bloody rubbish. He's the son of a God. He's not to be easily moved. Nothing doing. I won't allow you to go, because his mother's life is in danger. See, he's got that feeling for his mother. So, no, I won't allow you to go.